And it's really just filling your mind, your day with positive things. You want to see a change. I'm trying to think of something like real specific. Like, okay, let's just go with language learn. Like I'm learning Spanish, right? I really want to learn it. So, I make sure, well, I'm using my phone. I was going to show you my phone. I use the reminders app, put a list of things I want to do in the day that's going to help me reach my goal. And I got to get it done. No matter what time it is, no matter how late it is, I got to start knocking that stuff off the list.
I like that.
What
Go ahead.
happened? Go ahead.
That's my fault. No, I was like controlling the atmosphere. I was like, and stopping mess at the door. As soon as you see mess coming from around the corner, somebody bringing some mess, just be like, I don't want to hear it. I'm protecting my space. Don't even bring that to me. Don't even bring it to me. All that is protecting that mental wellness. So that's it.
People always say you can't cut off certain people. No, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
And there ain't no
Get out
half
of certain
cutting off
people.
people either. Because somebody say, well, some people, I used to think, well, I just won't text the well, no. I just won't see the person or whatever. Okay, let me get personal. Shoot. It was I was trying to be general.
Go ahead, good.
I had a toxic relationship with some of the leaders at my old church. And they was, called me names and stuff like that. I've never disrespected them in any way, but it was given unto me. But that was my church that I grew up with. I had a connection with it that, I was leading songs, I was on a stage and, doing the things I always want to do, but under bad leadership. So I was like, well, you know what? I just won't support them. I just won't be background work for them. Whatever. I'll still go to the church and be a part of the praise team because I loved it. That was my therapy. But I noticed that every time I get around that circle in the church where they were, even if I didn't even talk to them, mess will always fall in my lap one way or another. I'd be like, I didn't even talk to him. How in the world is he mad at me? Or how in the world did he do me wrong? He still ain't paid me my check. He still owe me money and it's been 3 weeks. Like it's always something. So I had to completely disengage and separate from my home church of over 10 years. I grew with that church from when they were a couple hundred to a couple thousand. I grew with that church. Everybody know me. They love me when I sing, but I had to disconnect because I didn't even want to go to church. I despise going to church because of the leadership. So there is no half cutting off people. Well, I'ma just deal with them in this way. Oh no, that mess gonna come. That energy, if you around it, you're gonna get affected. You are going to get hit with it. And you just sitting in there being innocent. And there were times I would just go to church just to watch them sing. I just be, listen, I'm just gonna go to church. I ain't even gonna sing no more. That's how fed up I got with it. I ain't even gonna sing no more. I'm just gonna slip in, slip out. But I got to the church, I got pissed off all over again just watching them. So I said, oh no, I got to just completely just not, I got to get the whole church out of my system. It's just bad blood. So, yes.
But no, glad you had it in you to move around and go to where you felt comfortable again. And
Mhm.
that's a very good point. You have to take care of yourself, you know.
Protect your space at all costs.
It is about my space. I am trying to control my space. Now, I mean, if it's just too toxic, it's too toxic. But I don't cut them off straight immediately because all I can say is, hey, if you need to talk, I'm here.
Okay.
Or I don't know. That's hard for me because I just don't cut them straight off. It's just I know because being in my depression, somebody don't want to listen to me. That's gonna make me even go spiral way down even more than what I was. I know they're protecting their space, but then on my side, it's like, well, dang, don't nobody want to hear what I got to say. So I can kind of see it from both sides. So I don't just cut people off straight at the forefront. It's really hard, even though I can try my best. That's why I say control your space when I'm like, oh, can we pick some different words? I'm trying to let's try different things, before just not just cutting you straight off,
Right.
because that's gonna spiral me If like one of my close in the circle, people cut me off that, I'm gonna go into depressive state. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna hit me way harder than it would hit, but I don't know. That's a hard one when he mentioned that, because you will be affected by different things, and if they talk to you about their problems, I'm a person where I'm like, oh, that especially if I can relate to it, it's gonna affect me too. Now we both might be depressed, so I
Right.
get it, protecting your space. I do get it.
For me, that sounds like you're more heavily invested emotionally. Sometimes when you
Mm,
have that emotional investment, and granted, yes, it will be harder. It should be harder to cut off somebody.
mm,
That doesn't come easily, but you invested your heart and time into some of those relationships, so it doesn't come easy.
mm.
It doesn't. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
It's easy for me.
Okay,
It really is easy for
Anthony
me.
said he
It,
left his heart open. It's cold in there.
I
I would
know.
like, okay, so I mean, everything is a process. I'm not just
uh,
gonna say, oh, you did me wrong one time, that's it. I mean, I could, depending on how bad it was, but usually, like, say for the instance with the leaders of my church, I worked with them. This was years in the making. It took years of bad business. It took years of not getting paid. It took many phone calls of them saying, well, I could do it better than you. Took many phone calls saying, well, you catty and bougie, to where I had to say, you know what? Enough is enough. I draw the line, because now I'm coming into church where I'm supposed to be fed, and I'm mad. I'm angry because I got to look at you. And you just told me I'm catty and bougie. You
right.
could do it better than me. What's the point of me even do? You just said all this stuff so to protect my space. And to your point, Gabriel, when you say you don't cut people off because of what they're dealing with, that's very noble. But when it
But it
so
keeps me
you
down
have to
too, to
be a
be honest.
little okay. Well, if that's how you're wired, then I
Sometimes.
understand. For me, it's like if I gotta choose between me, my well-being, and yours, I'm the first priority. I'm just gonna remove myself. How you feel about, if you need closure, I'll give you closure. I could talk about why I let you go. That's easy. I let you go because you're negative. I let you go because you're bringing me down and I need space. So, but I'm not thinking about their well-being. That's their journey,
Mm.
honestly. And people say that's selfish, but it's really self-care. You know,
No, I agree. I
yeah.
actually, you have to, especially nowadays. I don't know what's changed in the world, but you have to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Others aren't going to take or think about you in the same way you would think about you. They just won't. I say not everybody will. Um, just take care of you. Put yourself first. You don't have to be selfish, but like Anthony said, it is self care. Care about
Mm.
yourself. Just care about yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Realize what you're going through doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to stay in that certain space. Um,
Mm.
Follow the tools Anthony spoke about earlier. Find what works for you for your mental wellness.
Mm.
For me, that would be honestly reading. So I read a
Okay.
ton of self-promotional. So there's a lot of black entrepreneurial books. Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about
I
just
read that. Yeah.
yeah just and one of the
Yeah.
points in that book just kind of spoke to me is he talked about building the system. So going from employee to self-employed to being owning a business and being a business owner. Don't know the exact squares anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to that end of just self development, progress, and having a system that works for you, and to where you can check out and it's still making progress. It's still making money for you.
Mm-hmm.
Other books, being about a black entrepreneur. There's a book called "Black Faces in White Places" by Dr. Randall Pinkett. Just how you operate as a black man in a sea of white spaces, white businesses. How do you
Mm-hmm.
walk some of the lines, or how do you break through that ceiling?
Oh,
Just books
that's a
like
good
that to
topic.
help to speak to you about your certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've just stamped from the beginning. Ibram X Kendi, is did I say his name right? But just books like that, the self promotion, things that I need mentally just to get me through what I'm going through, or to help me know who I am. So
Yes.
and things about that is what
Yeah.
helps my mental well
Mm. Yeah. I look up quotes, motivational quotes, inspirational quotes to really speak to me too as well. And that's what I do. That's another tool that I do to try to help me stay positive and take care of myself too. Self-care, just utilize Google
I mean,
to help
hey,
speak to me.
whatever works, and as long as it's in a positive and productive way, excuse me, if it works for you, take it and do it.
Yeah,
I think
especially. Oh, go ahead.
I think what you said earlier, Chase, knowing who you are. When I gave you a little amen shout, that's the key point, because you said what is mental wellness. I really think it's knowing yourself.
Well, Gabriel, Anthony, um, that is all I have for you guys today.
Oh,
All
well, it's
right.
already over.
Hey, I know. It's only been 49 minutes.
We ain't even got into the depression or nothing, but it's
We
okay
get it.
though.
Well, I mean, it
Look,
depends
look,
on
we
the
don't we
host.
do that. There's so much more to say. I know.
You can find Anthony Chase on Instagram and Facebook at Anthony Chase Sings, or you can find him on Instagram at team_gifted. You can connect with Gabriel Odom by emailing teamgiftedmanagement@gmail.com, or you can visit his website on Facebook/Gifted Entertainments. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Black Mind Chronicles. I hope you heard something today that helps put your mind at ease about talking to a licensed professional, or to know, above all else, that you are not alone. This show was produced and edited by myself, Chase Jackson. Subscribe and download the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Black Mind Chronicles, and on Twitter at Chronicles Black. Email the show at blackmindch@gmail.com. Until next time, this has been Black Mind Chronicles.